in here.
Right.
This one's like black.
Is this the order we're in?
Yeah.
All right, we got Cosmos, episode 3. What was the title, Caroline?
Hold, please.
Oh,
Da, 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 da.
Anna, what was the title?
From fear to knowledge.
No.
What was it?
From knowledge to fear.
No, it's not that. None
When
of
knowledge,
When knowledge conquered fear.
Conquered fear.
When knowledge conquered fear.
Cosmos, fear all knowledge. I'd like to introduce Anna Maltese, artist, talented, extraordinaire person.
Good afternoon.
And Donnie.
Donnie
Loa.
Loa.
Can I say it, Lau?
No.
The Lau of Donnie.
The Lau.
I like the Lau of Donnie.
Aww.
They are our talented guest hosts because we all watched this together with a huge crowd of skeptics. What did we call ourselves?
The Cosmonites.
Cosmonites. Hashtag. Boom.
Meeting
Trademark.
on Cosmo Night.
Uh-huh.
With a K. So this episode kicked off about knowledge.
It started off with prehistory and used comets as a through line to talk about how omens in the sky and anything unfamiliar basically led people into mass hysteria,
Right.
dogs and cats living together, and how one friendship sort of broke that open, and how ultimately Edmund Halley brought Isaac Newton's, theory of gravity and everything into the forefront and sort of explained away
And
all
you
fear.
guys mentioned earlier, I've known about Halley for a while because I used to be a big fan / researcher of the Hollow Earth theory. So I've known about
John
Halley
has too
for.
much time on his
I got
hands.
a lot of time on my hands.
What I really liked about the opening was it was a baby, and it was basically like a baby left on the doorstep. Man is looking for answers about where they came from, and so I like the visceral way to connect with people.
It's a beautiful analogy for us as a species. Like we're
like
the
the
infants on the
young-
universe. We don't really we're just perceiving things. We can't really understand them.
We're like the white baby who got left in the hands of a black man.
I would be okay with that as a
In
baby.
the
I would
universe.
just want to hold on to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's
He
true.
does
I wanna
have
do that
nice
as an adult.
arms.
He was a
would-
wrestler and also a dancer.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know. Don't mess with Neil.
So welcome
also-
to the gun show.
Yeah,
Apparently,
because-
wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Let me just cushion your head on my giant bicep, little baby.
He's got all kinds of moves.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of awesome.
In conclusion, we all want to be cradled by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Is that so wrong?
I don't
So,
think it is. I don't feel like it's too much.
Edmund Halley needed a theory for planets or gravity or something, and so he found the rebellious recluse Newton.
Who was a recluse because Robert Hooke was taking all the credit for his stuff.
But Newton got the last laugh. Why don't you tell us about that, Donnie?
Oh man, it was awesome because it was like the ultimate comeback. Hook had basically spent his entire life kind of stealing Newton's ideas, and Newton was kind of just like, I don't know. And then Hook was finally dead, and they had all these pictures of everybody, and then Newton just burned it in the fire, and it was awesome because nobody knows what he looks like.
The only
Right.
known picture of him.
Nobody
Right.
knows.
Burned. Now I gotta say,
Like,
the
seriously.
Now I have been a big defender of the animation up until this episode.
Really?
I straight up, dude, it felt like South Park. And if you told me, John, did you know that Matt Stone and Trey Parker not only did the animation, they did the voiceovers? I would believe you because, hi, I am a scientist man looking for science. I heard you did science. I don't do it anymore. My ideas were stolen of science. And it just came off so fucking cheeseballs. Like, science.
You know, that I understand. I think though
Quick.
part of what it was, because if you look at the long shots with the establishing shots of the changing of the seasons that they had in the beginning, and the really graphic, like the motions of mass migrations of humanity,
Animator,
and
by the
everything.
way.
Guilty as charged. That was done beautifully, and it was the same style that they had in the very first episode with so what struck me was that the style pretty much is fine, but the dialogue reminded me of something from Rankin Bass, which has a very different animation style, and oftentimes the dialogue and the writing married with a different animation style will totally work.
It was so stilted. Hell's bells. Jiminy Jillikers. Jiminy Jillikers.
There was a
say
little
Jiminy
bit.
Jillikers.
There was a few.
Did they
There were a lot of
Speed up-
slapsticky things.
Tell
going
me
on
they
as well.
sped up an adult's voice, because that's what it sounded like for that
I
little
feel like
kid.
they may have.
Yeah.
That may be accurate.
Hell's bells.
Rampant speculation at this point about whether they sped up an adult's voice.
We have
can
the
look
we
this
have
up.
the
We have
internet
the
here, but no, we're not going to resort to
I'm
that.
going to do it.
No,
It's happening.
I refuse to research anything we're saying right now.
We really didn't
Next-
actually watch the episode.
Next
We just read
topic.
the title and we're going off on a riff. I always forget how much of a fanboy Neil deGrasse Tyson is of Newton, and that really came out in this
Forget
episode.
that's his fit.
Yeah.
That's
his
why I was so.
favorite
That's why I was so
40-year-old virgin.
disappointed that it
Yeah.
had like the South Park Mormon episode treatment. Is that he has told that Newton story so
He
many
has,
times.
this
He's
is
so
accurate.
passionately. I would have rather just heard his voiceover while they did the silent animation.
Now-
Because he's so passionate about Newton.
He absolutely is.
Now, because this is on Fox, I feel that like it's easy for you all who are a lot more well versed in the skeptics and atheist movement to.
We weren't up until you made that sentence.
Now we're really
That was
Ah, you
Now
guys are
we're experts.
professionals.
Now we're zeroing in
Yeah.
on what you're about to say.
Well, no, on Fox, it's just basically reaching a broad audience that's never heard this before, and I'm a part of that like audience. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
And so, coming from a place that I've never heard this stuff about deGrasse, Tyson. I know that I'm like, oh, this is awesome. He's
Yeah.
really he
Yeah.
really likes this guy.
He really
I
likes-
mean, he's basically.
There's a thing called the internet. And on there's this channel called the YouTubes.
There's also something called privilege, Anna.
Oh, do they not have the YouTubes in Austin?
Look, look.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed.
He's just getting introduced to this. This isn't a group of people you go looking for. Like,
Scientific literacy.
I got born into
Obviously.
this.
Bad.
I was born into this.
I was raised a good secular girl. I do not know.
Goodness gracious.
Secular privilege.
So yes, he is a fanboy of Newton, but he's also very honest about his religiosity. Like in some of his lectures, he goes into how he broke down light into the spectrum, and even though the range of light is a visible light is broken down into 6 colors, Newton could not get his head around the fact that there wouldn't be a sacred number involved in it. He
Right.
had to make it 7. So he arbitrarily made a little indigo. And from there we get all sorts of new age stuff, like indigo children.
Right.
It's not real! It's so wrong.
They're just autistic.
Yes.
What? In Jenny McCarthy, Indigo Child? Look it up.
is she
Not
on
now. Not now.
I'm looking it up right now.